Hi, Lemons. Sorry I missed meditation tonight. I was driving back from 30 minutes away and I literally could have just opened my phone and listened, but I was like so focused on traffic. By the time I got home, it was like 9:15 and I was like, shit. So sorry. I love you. Hi, Lemons. Hi, Justin. How was meditation tonight? Was it good? Hi, Brian. Happy Friday. Hi, Devin. Hi, Jay. Hi, Laura. Hi, Monique. Hi, Prince Hairflip. Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Lady Rose. Hi, Bisbee. Hi, Half Pint. Hi, Robin. Happy Friday. Hi, Sav. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. If you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs and helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Hi, James. Also, sharing to your stories, the little star helps too, and sharing with your friends in messages. And thank you to everybody tapping. Once we get to 10K taps, we will get pushed out the first time. And feel free to start writing your story requests in all capital letters in the chat. Thank you, Globeville. Write your story requests in all capital letters in the chat. I'll write them down and then we'll vote. Happy Friday. Welcome to the porch. Thank you, Robin, for the potato in Paris. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Heather. Hi, Pabs. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. Robert, are you talking about the Salem time slip story? Hi, Miss Queen Eats. Hi, Alley Cat. Hi, Cecilia. Hi, Jade. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome in. Feel free to write your story requests in all capital letters in the chat. I'll write them down and we will vote for them soon. Happy Friday. Also, feel free to hit that share arrow. Hi, Narwhal. And hit that share arrow. And there is a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts the live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Hi, Star. Thank you, Cassie. That was so cute. It's a marshmallow hand. That's so cute. And okay, Robert, I wrote it down. It's called the Salem time slip. So you weren't too far off. It was pretty good, Robin. How about you? Thank you, Star. You're so sweet. Thank you, Whitney, for the populars and the cozy cryptids. Hi, Tao. Hi, Mackenzie. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Brittany. Brittany, how you doing, cutie? Hi, Jen. Hi, Jay. Hi, Tommy. Hi, Monique. Hi, Taylor. Hey, Tequila Pepsi. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Hi, Steph. Hi, Peter. All right, and if you guys haven't already, my Friday's going pretty well, Taylor. How about you? I had a pretty good day, Tequila. How about yours? I'm doing well, Allie. How about you? Hi, Riverman. Hi, Miss Alina. Hi, you. How are you? Hi, Rach. Yeah, Gabriel. Thank you, Riverman, for the confetti. Welcome in, guys. If you haven't put your hi, Peter. I already said hi, Peter. Hi. Thanks, Miss Alina. Welcome in. I'm glad, Alley Cat. It's nice to see you. Hi, Nola Shell. Thanks for the rose. All right, guys, if you haven't yet, feel free to write your story request in all capital letters. Thank you, Riverman. That's so cute. Thanks. Those are so cute. And I'll write it down, and then we will vote on the first story. And thank you, Lady Rose. Yes, it's the Menehune. Is the Hawaiian story. But I already wrote it down. I got what you meant. All right, guys, I will be right back with the first poll. Feel free to add your story requests. And, the Devil's Tramping Ground in North Carolina. Yep. Okay. All right, guys. And while I'm getting the first poll ready, hi, Miss Queen Eats. I'm so glad. If you guys could do me a favor, if you guys could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little yellow circle with two arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts the live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Sharing to your stories, sharing with your friends helps too. And thank you for all the tapping. Oh my gosh, Robin, they're going to do a showing of Nosferatu at a place near you. Oh my gosh. Are you going to go? Are you going to be part of the midnight movie? and disappear into the screen. Oh, you did, Rach? Yeah. It's one of my stories. Robin said, hell no. Uh-oh, I ruined old creepy movies for you. Thank you, Faye Open. Welcome in. Oh, just kidding. It's One Eye Open. Hi, One Eye Open. Welcome in. Hi, Carrie. Welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the porch. Thank you for sharing it out. I am going to set up the first poll and then we can vote. And I will be right back. Feel free to share it out. Tell your friends. And grab a beanbag chair. Grab a hammock. Sit back and relax. And welcome to the porch. Happy Friday. Rachel, have you heard my story Midnight Movie before? Because that's why Robin brought it up. Hi, Lily. I missed you. How you doing, cutie? Thank you, Star. Hi, AMG. You love this story? Okay. I didn't know if you'd heard it, because if you hadn't, then I was like, maybe you don't get why she's like, hell no. Oh, you haven't, Allie? I can put it on the poll tonight if you'd like. It's a reworking of an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. I'm sorry, Lily. Well, you've been missed, but I hope you feel better soon. Oh, Lacey, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're here with us. Me too, Allie. It was the inspiration for my channel, actually. I was also a big fan of the show So Weird. I loved Fiona. She was so cool. And she was fearless. I feel like she was like my idol. Like, I feel like I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go out there and chase that will-o'-the-wisp, and I'm going to go. And like, I feel like she is the reason I am like not scared of anything. Is Fiona. She's an icon. You never heard of that show, Tao? It was on Disney. It's called So Weird. Oh, Miss Queen, I'm so glad. Welcome. A majority of the people here are here every night. So welcome to the Porch Bells. Oh, thank you, Lily. You're the best. I have one of yours coming up soon, but I'm not sure yet because I'm going out of town in 2 weeks to Lake Tahoe, and I need to make my story before I go, because I'm still gonna do a Monday premiere and I'm still gonna do my lives. I just kind of need to get it set up before I leave, so I don't have to spend all the time while I'm there writing. So I'm gonna have to crank out like 2 stories next week, I think. Oh, thank you, Janie. Welcome in. I've actually never been Alley Cat, and one of my best friends forever lives there, and I haven't seen her in years, and I'm very excited. You guys want to know something funny? The cave story, I will be with 3 out of the 4 girls that I was with in the cave story. The only one not coming is Allie. But the twins, the creepy twins, you guys are Carrie and Casey, they're coming, and so is Taylor. It's Taylor's house, so yeah. So I just have to crank it. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yep, because they're like, I wrote my best friends in that story. And so, and the only reason Allie's not coming is because we had to reschedule it, and it falls on her birthday now. So, but Taylor booked a movie, so we didn't really have a choice. Oh, Mackenzie, thank you. Thanks for passing on the message. Yeah, she's so cute. I love her. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a Tahoe story about my time there. We're definitely gonna get 1 or 2 Tahoe stories out of it, and I'll probably go live from like the woods and shit there. Because I'm gonna be there for a week. I'm gonna be lurking around. I'm gonna be lurking. I was just talking about how I'm going to Tahoe at the end of the month, Tao. A haunted Chevy. What? Are you talking about the Phantom ride? Yeah, I'd be lurking. Oh, it's a famous Tahoe story? Cool. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also have all of the links in my bio. Thanks, Gabriel. What's in Tahoe? One of my best friends. Like one of my best friends. Jess, it's so pretty. Thanks. I've never seen that one. Thank you. Oh, okay, Robin. Yeah, for sure. That was so pretty. Thank you so much, Jess. What about Tahoe, Jade? Yeah, she's one of my best friends. And I haven't seen her in years. And so she surprised me and got me a plane ticket to fly out and see her for my fake birthday. And then she booked a movie. So then we didn't even get to be together on my fake birthday. And so then it's become this whole like at this point we're like, and we had to reschedule it. So that's why now it's at the end of August instead of the end of July. Yeah, Jade, it's my friend Taylor. I've told you about her. She's the vampire, remember? I know, isn't it so sweet? She's the best. We've been friends for we've been friends for almost 20 years. I love her so. And she got married during COVID, and it sucked because I had to be like a virtual bridesmaid, and I'll never get over it. Because it just wasn't the same. And so she literally still has my bridesmaid gift. That's how long it's been since I've seen her. So, and her wedding was in People magazine, and we didn't even get to be in the pictures. We were like, what? We got gypped. Yeah, it sucked. And she found him later in life. So it was just like we had been, it was just something long time coming, and it sucked to not be able to be there. Yeah. Wait, the home was Sycamore Springs? Cool, really? Where was that? Like the name of the town? Cool. thank you, Tater Tot. You've been friends since we were 8. I love that. I have a friend that I've been friends with since I was 3, or like born, basically. Yeah, pretty much born. And we're still friends. So I have 2 friends that I've been friends with for my whole life. And then most of my friends, to be honest, are about like over a decade. Like most of my friends are very long-term friends. Family, exactly. I was also emancipated when I was in high school, so my friends took a very priority role in my life for a long time. They were my family. Their parents let me come and eat meals, and like it was kind of one of those where my friends really were my family. So even after high school, I kind of continued that mentality towards my friendships, because they were there for me. But I will say, becoming an adult and being a woman, friendships change. Friendships change for sure. And you're not as close, but you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, especially as a woman. A lot of your friends become who their husbands are, which is interesting to watch after you've known somebody for 20 years. But hey, that's awesome, Robert. I love that. You're going through that, Ellie? Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard. There's a couple of them where, like, I still love her forever, but it has definitely, it's definitely just changed our dynamic and our friendship. And yeah, it really sucks. But I always look at it this way: people come for seasons, and just because they're not there for the rest of your life doesn't mean it wasn't any more special, and it wasn't any more vital to like shaping you as a person. Friendships shape you. And even if they don't stay forever and you grow apart, they were so important during whatever time they were there. So I actually like still love those friends, but I just don't devote as much of my energy into it or money into, you know what I mean? But I still have no hard feelings. It's just sad. It just makes me sad. But yes, exactly, Star. Well, and some of them, I'm not going to state the issue, but some of them kind of went off the deep end in the last 8 years, if you know what I'm talking about. And so that's been tough too, because like I said, a lot of women follow what their husbands do. And that's all I'm going to say. And so we all know the percentage of women that did that, right? And we all know the percentage of what demographic of women did that. And it was some girls I went to high school with, and it sucks. Yeah. But I still love them all so much. It's just so heartbreaking. But also it's like, I just continue to like remind myself that they actually don't even know what they're like. Most of them, I'm not gonna lie, have never even gave a shit or paid attention, and they're just doing what they're, like they don't even know what they're supporting. And like it's not an excuse, and I've tried to make it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things where you just have to let people do what they want, Oh, Nana, we were just talking about friendships and how they drift apart over the years as you become an adult, but that doesn't make them any less special and important into shaping who you were as a person. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Star. A lot of them do. And then it's interesting to watch because I'm like, I've known you. You're dealing with it too, Nana? Yeah, it's interesting to watch because you're like, I've known you for 20 years. And it's interesting to watch them morph into their husbands. You know what I mean? It's something that I don't think a lot of women talk about, but it is a struggle that I feel like men do not deal with their friends. Yes, when people get married, the friendship's not as free and it's more, they're not as available, but it's not the same. I find it very hard to believe that most husbands become their wives. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something that women and female friends experience. And it's a weird thing. And it's sad because, especially like I said, myself, I was emancipated and my friends were my family. So that's just like, friendships change over women. I do. Definitely not. Yeah, it's not as common for sure. But I also, like I said, I do understand that like once people get married, they do change. But I feel like they don't change like their whole personalities, do they? Like, and their interests and the things they didn't ever care about, all of a sudden they like are so into. And like, it's just very bizarre. Because then it becomes like where you wake up one day and you're like, I don't really have a lot in common with this version of her anymore. It's really bizarre. But it doesn't mean you don't love them and you don't take them for the season that they were there, because that's the key. Is I'm all about reincarnation and the journeys. And I think we run into people that we're supposed to teach us something, and not everybody stays. Nothing's permanent. So it's kind of one of those, cherish them while you had them. Yeah, Robin, I think everybody did that. Nana, and yeah, it's not always exactly Nana, and it's not always the people. I'm not saying the ones that are married with kids don't reach out. We were just saying the dynamic of the friendships tend to change, and like my friend Chelsea, she's married with kids, and she never changed. I was friends with her before and after, and like her available time has gotten less, and we don't talk as much, but she's still the same person. Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's, and she reaches out to me all the time, so, yeah, it's just interesting, the dynamic that changes. Yeah, I agree with that too, Tao. I agree. All married couples kind of form their own couple identity, but, it's interesting when it's just so different than, it should be kind of a nice little compromise of the two of them, I would assume, but. On Oracle, I'm so sorry. And I'm looking forward to you finding yourself again. Yeah, I was just going to say that before I saw your comment. Yeah, it is grieving. It's a grieving process, Nana. It's 100% grieving. But I just remind myself that I believe in reincarnation and the journey of life. And I think people come for a reason, and they are so important to shaping who we are as people. But that doesn't mean that they're there forever. And that doesn't minimize what you guys had. That doesn't make your friendship any less monumental and special. It just, some are for seasons, some you learned your lesson and you grew from them, and now you may have outgrown them because of thankful to them, which is kind of sad, but that's how a lot of people who pass through our lives that happen. That's kind of the whole point of dating, is each one helps you grow as you shed them until you find the, you know what I mean? Like with friends, until you find your core crew, or until you find the next phase of friends, Yeah. So it's not, it is a grieving thing, but it shouldn't be a hard feelings or looking at her and being sad and mad. It should be thankful that you had a friendship like that helped shape you as a person. Thank you, Robin. Those jets are so pretty. And thank you, Iacona, for the cozy cryptids. Yeah, whoosh. Right? Yeah. So at least that's my theories on it, and how I've dealt with grieving and coping with, especially as an unmarried, childless woman, who my friends were literally my whole life and family. It has been very difficult for me to know, to respect boundaries and to understand the difference in diet, because I'm not going through those same milestones as them. So I try to be as much tuned into what they could possibly be experiencing to understand why they are changing. You know what I mean? Because it is very different for when you're in different phases of life as well. Yeah. So I really try to be conscious of the fact that they have to get babysitters now if they want to do something with me, and so I have to try to, it's just a different dynamic with friends. So it's not even stuff like that, because that's just adulting, but it's stuff like, growing apart basically, and just, oh, thank you, Nana. I appreciate it. I am to a fault, to be honest. It's, but I'm not, I'm kind, but I'm not nice. Like, I don't put up with shit, but I'm very kind. Hi, Songbird. Oh, thank you, Heather. Songbird said, golly gosh. Has Devin ever put out books to your knowledge? Oh no, I haven't put out books yet, but I plan on doing it. Yeah, Allie, for sure. Well, and that's the thing, is their priorities have changed, and people will make it clear to you, and then you just have to change yours and readjust your expectations. Devin Bumps, what's that? One of the Buddha's 5 remembrances. Which one? Hold on. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are subject to change and separation. Really? See, you know what? And you know what? People tell me all the time that my beliefs are very Buddhist. And I'm not like, I know a little bit about each religion, but I'm not super into organized religion. But a lot of people always tell me the stuff I say sounds Buddhist. So I must believe a lot of those concepts. Okay, guys, I'm setting up the poll now. Yeah, Oracle, could you tell? See? Can you tell? I just go on this like, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yep. I just spit like Buddhist collective information out of my dome. See? It happens all the time, but it's so hard to recognize unless you know, like I've told you guys now. So I love how you notice that. Okay, guys. The poll is ready. Yeah, Oracle, I love how you noticed that. You're so smart. Okay. The poll's ready. We have the Snallygaster, which is the new story of the week. We have Booger Hollow. We have The Winding Road. We have Stillness in the Cedars. And we have The White Witch of Rose Hall. Aw, Winter, I'm glad. Eric, thank you for the fireworks. Laura, why are you crying? Oh, that's okay, Miss Queen Eats. All right, guys, it's in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box. Thank you, Amy. And you can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. And just if you're on YT, Justin will vote for you if you would like. We have The Snallygaster, which is the new story of the week. We have Booger Hollow. We have The Winding Road. We have The Stillness in the Cedars. We have The White Witch of Rose Hall. Who's it gonna be, guys? Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, Winter, I have so many. If you want to check out the list, it's on our Discord, and Lovely updates it every week. And even if you've never heard one, like you can see the titles in a list and then like go, oh, that sounds cool. And you can request ones you've never heard before. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people request a lot of the same ones. So we made the list hoping that maybe people would go on there and go, never heard that one. I'll request that. So your requests do not have to be stories that you've ever heard. Feel free to check out the list and pick one that sounds neat. And I'm not the most... I came up with titles at the beginning that I thought were creative, but they didn't really help people figure out what the story's about very well. So now I just title them like The Snallygaster, The Bell Witch, stuff like The Goat Man. But the earlier stories, the titles are a little obscure, but just pick one that sounds interesting. Oh, thanks, Maureen. And the Discord link is right there pinned if you like. That's right, Gabriel. Boogers and Heights. Yes, Jade's Foot is the winner. Avina, thanks for joining the Discord. Oh, Rach, you need rest. Thank you, Graveyard Shift. How you doing? How you doing, Travis? I'm good. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Happy Friday. All right, guys, the winner is The Stillness in the Cedars, Jade's Foot. I'll be right back with that story. Happy Friday. And yes, Justin, be nice. Graveyard Shift is Travis. Don't pull that shit again. He was here last time. We had a whole Travis thing, and he felt very awkward. We're not doing it again, Justin. Remember? Yeah, he's the good Travis. Yeah, remember Graveyard Shift? And we were like, what if somebody came in named Travis? How weird would that be? And then he had been here the whole time, and he peeped up and he was like, my name's Travis, and it's kind of weird. We were like, oh no. So Graveyard Shift is the Travis we love. He is not the Lighthouse Travis. So whenever I say hi Travis, that's who it is. He's the best. He took it like such a good sport when we were bashing any dudes named Travis because we didn't know he was in there, and Jade started it and she was like, I've never known a Travis is not a D-bag. And then we met one, and he's amazing. So we love you, Travis, and thank you for taking it so well and being a good sport and being a porch pal. Yeah, it was so, we were like, oh my God, I felt so bad because he'd been here the whole time. Yeah, we love you, Travis. He said stop. All right, guys, grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock. It was so funny. Grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the tale of the stillness in the cedars. Happy Friday. Feel free to repost and share your stories. Thank you, Gabriel. I love that songbird. Me too. I've done it for a long time. Oh, songbird. Boogers and haints is Appalachian term for ghosts and spirits. Like haint is basically haunt, a haint. It's just, it morphed into that at some point. And then booger is actually where the boogeyman came from. A booger was a spirit, an unknown, a spooky, anything that you couldn't explain, something supernatural, paranormal. And that's where boogeyman came from. So not the booger in your nose. Hi, Alyssa. Thank you, Heather. That one's so funny. Hi, Kim. How's your headache feeling? G Easy, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Hi, Bed of Dust. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the stillness in the cedars. Heather, I love it so much. It's so weird and funny. Thank you, G-Easy. I grew up thinking I knew what silence sounded like. It was the hush that followed snowfall, or the way the woods paused at dusk before the crickets began. But the silence I met in the Oregon Coast Range wasn't peace. It felt like something was always watching. I came there late in the season, chasing the remains of a vanished town called Brookmere, a place wiped from maps after a landslide in 1924. My research was on forgotten logging camps, how they disappeared and what they left behind. Thank you, G-Easy. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Katie. The archives had one photograph. A dozen men in suspenders, standing beside a cedar as wide as a boxcar. Behind them, the forest was already trying to swallow the mill. My good friend Jade lives outside Portland, so she decided to meet up with me for the adventure, and we hit the road. The Oregon Coast Range has a smell that never leaves your clothes. The scent of wet bark, rust, and salt from the Pacific pushing through every crack in the mountains. It rains there in ways that erase boundaries. And after 3 days in, every step squelched. Hi, mermaid, thank you. The trail, if you could call it that, was a faded survey line. Jade told me that the old loggers had a legend in these parts, and they called it the Hide Behind. A creature that lived in the cedars, always out of sight, feeding on men who strayed from camp. They said it moved faster than the human eye could track, slipping behind the nearest trunk each time you turned. It left no tracks, no bones, only an absence that smelled like rot and sawdust. We told ourselves it was probably just folklore born of too many nights and too much whiskey. But once we were in that dripping green labyrinth, I caught myself glancing behind every few steps. By the fourth day, the rain turned violent. The temperature dropped 20 degrees in an hour, and the wind came up the gorge like a freight train. Jade and I agreed that we couldn't make it back to the car before dark. Our map showed a fire watch cabin built in the 1930s a mile off the trail, near a ridge. If it was still standing, it would most likely be dry. So we followed the map, desperate for shelter. The hike there felt wrong. The forest wasn't swaying with the wind, it was bracing against it. The cedars leaned inward, their crowns knitting into a ceiling that blocked the gray sky. Thank you, Jessica. Moss hung like soaked wool. Every gust brought down needles and sheets. And when we finally saw the cabin, it barely looked like a structure. Just a shadow of timbers, the roof sagging under years of rain. Jade pushed the swollen door open. Inside smelled of mildew and cold ash. Someone had left a rusted stove, bunk beds, and a shelf of water-swollen logbooks. The roof leaked, but only in a few thin streams. I lit a small lantern from my pack, and I spread out my sleeping bag on the top bunk. The rain on the roof was a steady roar. Jade and I decided that we would stay one night and we'd hike back down at dawn. And that was when we heard the first knock. Not thunder, a deliberate knock. Near the back wall like knuckles on wood. We froze, waiting for a second, but nothing. Then the wind rose again, and we both decided it must have just been a branch shifting. But an hour later came another sound. Footsteps, soft but heavy, circling the cabin. I held my breath. There shouldn't have been anyone out there. The nearest road was 10 miles away. The steps stopped at the door. I killed the lantern, and the rain went on louder now until the roof rattled. My ears rang from the pressure of listening, and we laid in our bunks, frozen and terrified in the dark. When nothing else happened, we must have dozed off at some point. Then, deep into the night, a crash jolted both of us awake. Jade screamed, and we both looked at the back window, which had burst inward. Wind poured through, carrying cedar needles and the smell of rot. There was something stuck in the frame. A strip of bark peeled as thin as skin that that curled inward like a hand. I told myself it must have blown loose from a tree. I told myself anything to try to stay calm enough to pack up my gear. But when I turned to grab my jacket, Jade was frozen in terror, staring at what appeared to be wet footprints on the floorboards leading from the window toward the door. Bare and way too long. They stopped halfway across the room. We looked at each other and bolted. Outside, the storm had eased into a thick mist that moved between the trees. Our headlamps caught only the trunks, endless and slick. Every time I looked left or right, there was motion at the edge of my sight. Something shifting just beyond our beams of light. I began counting steps to keep from panicking. And that was when I realized the forest had gone completely still. No rain, no wind, no insects. The silence pressed so hard my eardrums pulsed. Ahead, a hollow opened in the trees where the fog pooled like water. And in the clearing stood the remains of Brookmere. Only the sawmill's foundation survived, stones half buried in moss. The rest mere outlines. Mounds where the cabins once stood. Rusted saw blades. In the center rose a single cedar stump taller than me, its heart split by lightning. Something moved behind it. I saw only a flash. It was pale, with smooth flesh, and then it was gone. I stepped backward, accidentally stepping onto Jade's foot. We both screamed. We were both on edge. Another flash, this time on the opposite side. The thing was circling us, but staying hidden. Jade looked at me with growing concern and stuttered. I think it's the hide behind. The story said if you caught it in full view, it kills you. Maybe that was superstition, maybe not, but Jade and I were not trying to test it out. So we just turned and we ran. As fast as we could without tripping. The mist folded sound, so our footsteps sounded like they came from everywhere. The forest didn't seem to have directions anymore. I ran until my lungs burned, and then I stumbled into another clearing, smaller, ringed with fallen logs. At the center stood an old logging skid, chains still wrapped around a buried axle. And hanging from one chain was a shape I thought was canvas until it moved. It was a coat, a human coat rotted through, the fabric stiff with age. And beneath it, bone gleamed. My stomach turned. Someone had died here long ago, left hanging when the crew fled the landslide. The bones clattered softly as the wind returned, and I felt the silence break open behind me. I didn't even have to look, I knew it was there. I caught a glimpse over my shoulder, an elongated arm sliding back behind a tree trunk. Every instinct said, run downhill. Water finds the road, and the road would find us safety. We barreled through undergrowth until we saw the faint glow of my car's reflectors through the fog. The shape behind us moved in rhythm with our motion. Thank you, cat. Each time vanishing as I turned around. When we reached the car, I didn't stop to look back. We piled in and we were off. I drove until daylight hit the windshield. When we finally reached the ranger station, the man on duty stared when I handed over the coordinates. He told us the Firewatch cabin had collapsed 10 years ago, and the road beyond had been closed since the landslide. He must have seen my hand shaking because he poured us some coffee and asked us what we had seen. We told him it was nothing, just a bad storm. That night we stayed in the motel just outside Tillamook. And in the middle of the night, we woke to the deliberate sound of knuckles on wood. And that's the tale of the stillness in the cedars. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I'm here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Hi, Possum. Welcome in, guys. I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story. And if you could do me a big favor while I'm doing that, if you could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little yellow circle that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends helps too. And thank you for tapping. Hi, Sherry. Happy Friday. Hi, Leslie. Aw, I'm sorry, Fairy Witch. Thank you, Beefy. Hi, Speedy. How's it going, Sherry? You have any good plans this weekend? All right, guys, thank you for sharing it out. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for tapping and sharing to your stories. And I will set up the next poll so we can vote. I'll be right back. Oh, Speedy, thank you for the Shard of Hope. right, guys, be right back. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax and check out the shooting stars. And welcome to the porch. Looking after your mom? You're a good daughter. All right, guys, the poll is up. Left-hand corner, blue box. We've got the Snallygaster, Booger Hollow, the Winding Road, the Appalachian Doppelganger, and the Devil's Tramping Ground. Who's it gonna be, guys? Sorry, Tao, I was setting up the poll. I'm not always reading the screen. Where do polar bears keep their money? In a snowbank. That's cute. In a snowbank. Hi, Carissa. I always talk to you. Happy Friday, everybody. Hi, Gigi. That was a good one, Tao. Snowbank joke was cute. Hi, Professor Who. I know, such a dad joke. I love dad jokes. I really do. Okay, the other one is why do old golf players wear 2 pairs of socks in case they make a hole in one? Same here, Carissa. Mermaid sirens were all the same. Fae folk, we need attention. I never come to your dances. Oh, welcome in. Is it Dark Ray? Welcome in. All right, guys, the winner of the poll is the Appalachian Doppelganger. I will be right back with that story. And if you are new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I'm going to pull up the next story, and if you guys could hit that share arrow for me, repost it with the yellow circle, and share it to your stories. And thank you to everybody tapping the screen. It does help get pushed out in the algorithm. And thank you for typing keywords in the chat if you are on TikTok. That helps the AI scanning us know what the live is about, especially with the story that is coming up. Please write keywords in the chat during this story. This is one people make a lot of jokes about, so feel free to help counteract that with keywords. I would greatly appreciate it. Hi, Viola. Oh, Sherry, thank you for the adorable caterpillar. And Neil, thanks for the earthling heart. Oh, and Taryn, thanks for the club power. The keywords, Tommy, have you not? What do you mean? You're in here every night. I explain it every night. The keywords, it scans the chat every 10 minutes. And then it brings trolls in because it brings in people who are looking for those keywords and not people who are looking for paranormal, spooky stories, stuff like that. And this next story gets a lot of jokes about something that is definitely a topic I do not want people who are searching for that to come in here. Does that make sense? It's just part of the algorithm. It allows us to talk about whatever we want. So we counteract the jokes with keywords. So when the AI scans us, it sees more of those words than ball sacks. Got it? Does that make sense, everybody? I'll be right back with the tale of the Appalachian doppelganger. Oh, don't be sorry. It's the Pokemon name. Okay, I just wasn't familiar. Dark Ray. I like it. Well, Jade, it's the Appalachian doppelganger story. What do you think's coming? Oh yeah, I forgot, Justin. But it still basically does. Remember? Scooby-Doo works too. What do you call a deer with no eyes? What do you call it? No, Jess, it's not. But people still think it looks like that, so. Oracle, that's funny. No idea. Jess, you're cute. Well, you can type it, but we just need to type keywords to counteract it. We still have the freedom to say what we want. We just need to type keywords that counteract. You know what I mean? Like even amount. Like if we're going to talk about that, we just need to make sure we also type in words that are about like the stories. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just to trick the little scanny thing. Thanks, Shannon. Perfect. You guys are doing great. Thanks. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Appalachian doppelgangers. Oh my God, Shannon, that was so pretty. Thank you. And Winter, thank you for the cow napping. And Sherry, thank you for the cozy cryptids. The Appalachian Mountains is a place of undeniable beauty. Their peaks and valleys stretching out like something from a painting. But they've always carried an undercurrent of something darker. A sense that they're alive in ways we can't quite understand. Thank you, Sherry. When I got the last-minute group chat invitation from my old college friends for a weekend camping trip, I hesitated. It wasn't like them to be so spur of the moment. And something about it felt odd. Thank you, Songbird. But the idea of getting out of Nashville and into the fresh mountain air won me over. I packed my gear, loaded up the car, and I hit the road eager to reconnect. The drive took me through winding roads that seemed to pull me deeper and deeper into the wilderness. And by the time I reached the trailhead, the late afternoon sun was casting long shadows. My friends Becca, Jenna, and Laura were already there, waiting by their cars. Something about the way they stood perfectly still and silent until I pulled in gave me a pause. But as soon as I stepped out, they were all smiles and laughter, bustling to unload the gear and head to the campsite. Thank you, Winter. Thank you, Scarlett. I shook off the unease, telling myself it was just the isolation. The hike to the campsite was uneventful at first. The trail was unusually silent. As we walked, I noticed odd things, a set of deep gouges on a tree trunk. A pile of stones arranged in a strange spiral pattern beside the trail. Mermaid, I love that. I pointed them out, but my friends just shrugged them off. The campsite was about 3 miles in, tucked into a clearing surrounded by towering pines. It should have been picturesque, but something about it felt weird. Thank you, Sherry. The ground was bare, as if nothing had grown there for years. And the air was heavy and faint with a metallic smell. My friends didn't even seem to notice. They just chatted as they set up their tents. I tried to join in, but my unease only grew. That night, as we sat around the campfire, the woods seemed to close in around us. Thank you, Jessica. The darkness felt thicker than usual. The kind that swallows your inadequate flashlight beam and makes every shadow look like it's moving. The conversation drifted to ghost stories, then urban legends. Each tale punctuated by nervous laughter. But something was off. The stories my friends told didn't seem like them. Becca's story was rambling and disjointed, not her usual sharp wit. And Jenna's laugh came a fraction too late, like she'd forgotten how to time laughing. And Laura, the most grounded of us all, just stared into the fire with an intensity that made my skin crawl. I went to bed early, blaming it on the hike, but in truth, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were not alone. I laid in my tent, listening to the crackle of the dying fire and the occasional murmur of my friends' voices. And then I heard it. A low guttural sound coming from the woods. It wasn't an animal, at least not one that I've ever heard before. It was followed by a rustling and then silence. I held my breath, my heart pounding, but nothing else happened. I told myself it was just my imagination, though. I didn't sleep much after that. The next morning, things got stranger. Becca's tent was empty. Her sleeping bag was neatly rolled up inside. And when I asked where she'd gone, Jenna and Laura just stared at me blankly, as if they didn't understand the question. And then almost in unison, they said that she had gone to get some water. But there was no water source nearby, and we'd brought everything we needed. I offered to go look for her, but they waved me off, saying that she'd be back soon and I needed to chill. The nonchalant tone of their voices did not match the situation. I decided to take a short walk to clear my head, hoping the fresh air would help, aka go look for her. As I wandered, I came across something that stopped me in my tracks. A pile of bones picked clean and arranged in a circle. They looked too large to be from an animal, but I wouldn't let myself think about the alternative. The metallic smell from the night before was stronger here, making my stomach churn. I turned back for the campsite, my pace quickening with each step. When I returned, Jenna and Laura were sitting by the fire, eerily calm. And Becca's things were gone. And when I asked where she was, they acted like she had never even been there. My pulse quickened as I scanned their faces, searching for some sign of the friends that I had known for years. Their expressions were blank, almost empty. I tried to hide my panic, forcing a laugh and saying, I wasn't feeling very well, and I think I need to leave. They didn't argue. They didn't even react. They just watched as I packed up my gear, their eyes following me with unsettling precision. As I slung my pack over my shoulder and turned to leave, Jenna said something that made me freeze. "You shouldn't have come." Her voice was flat and devoid of any emotion. It didn't even sound like her. Her eyes were too dark, like the pupil had swallowed the irises entirely. I didn't even respond. I just walked. My steps quickened as I put distance between myself and the campsite. But I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The woods seemed different now. The trees closer together, the path harder to follow. I was trying not to cry. I stumbled more than once, the unease growing with every step. And then I heard it. That guttural sound from the night before, closer this time. It was followed by heavy footsteps crashing through the underbrush. Whatever it was following me. I broke into a run, my pack slamming against my back as I tore through the woods. The footsteps gained on me and the sound of snapping branches and labored breathing grew louder. I didn't dare look back. My lungs burned and my legs ached, but I kept going until I burst out onto the trail ahead and I saw my car. Relief flooded through me as I found my keys, practically throwing myself inside and locking the doors. As I sped down the mountain road, the metallic smell lingered, clinging to my clothes, filling the car. I rolled down the windows and I didn't stop until I reached my apartment in Nashville, slamming the door behind me and collapsing on the couch. And then, my phone buzzed. It was a notification that made my stomach drop when I saw it. It was the group chat. The message was simple. "Are you almost here? We're waiting by the trailhead." I just stared at my phone, my hands trembling. And then I pushed the lock screen on my phone, and the date popped up. It was Friday again. Like the entire weekend hadn't even happened. To this day, I don't know what happened in those mountains. Was it a time slip? Did I enter some parallel universe? Were those even really my friends? I don't know what I experienced, or if or when my friends had ever really been there with me. All I know is this: I'll never go back to that part of the woods again. And I'll never ignore that quiet voice in the back of my mind, the one that tells me when something just isn't right. And that's the tale of the Appalachian doppelgangers, Zoe, bad shrooms. What, Skrilla? Till I said I was almost there? What? Hi, I didn't even know you were here. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Sorry, Zoe. Yeah, the dragging. I'm going to fix it this weekend, so I won't be dragging the backgrounds anymore. My bad. It's so annoying. I do write and record all these stories myself. And you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I do premiere a new one of these stories every Monday, live on my YT channel at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to join us this Monday. Rob, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. I don't know, Tao, what's the difference? Thank you, Freedom. Hi, Rhyme. Welcome back. Dark, right? No. Nope. Didn't go for a round 2. Oh, I thought it was a joke. What's the difference in the sound of a dying fire and a regular burning fire? Oh, I thought you were telling a joke. A dying fire is more, it's, to be honest, it's quieter and it's just kind of like some crackles. Like it's not really even really flames anymore. It's just kind of like embers crackling. Sounds different. Hi, Apple user. Yes, I did do a Dogman story. Hi, I am a person. Welcome to the porch. Thanks for the follow. You thought crackles too? Yeah. Because that's what it sounds like. It's more crackly and quiet. And you don't hear the of the flames. You just hear. It's different. Those are my sound effects. It's called the Dogman of Michigan. It has Dogman in the title and the picture. LK, thank you for the level up cake. Skrilla, thank you for your heart me. Oh, Skrilla, I'll do more than that. Hi, Peter. I haven't yet, but I haven't forgotten. It's written down on my to-do list. Oh, Jade's giving me the Bible. Jade. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Pittsburgh Penny. Thank you, Pittsburgh Penny. Thanks, Amanda. All right, guys, the next poll is ready. We have the Snallygaster. We have Haint Blue. We have the Trapdoor. We have the Last American Vampire. And we have the Devil's Tramping Ground. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box, and you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story if you're on TT. If you're on YT, you can vote. Justin will vote for you, or you can just relax. And Dark Ray, I am from the Appalachian foothills, so it doesn't scare me the way I think it scares a lot of people. It was Haint Blue, Haint. Close. Okay, Justin, we have a vote for Haint Blue, and we have a vote for Last American Vampire. Except for it doesn't, Skrilla. It really doesn't. No, Skrilla. Not because they like it, because I randomly picked that one and threw it in because it never gets requested or read. They like novelty. Whichever one I randomly pick and throw in is always the one that wins, never the requests. Almost 98% of the time. Hi, Drew. Hi, Melissa. Even when it's up against the new story. Literally, even when it's up against the new story, look at that. I just threw Trapdoor in because y'all refuse to look at the fucking story list of over 100 stories. So I just throw in ones that never get requested, and you guys always vote for them. Hi, Rich. Hi, Mystic. Don't be sorry. I love to read you guys stories that you haven't heard before. That's why I do it. I sneak them in so you guys get to enjoy ones you haven't heard much. Yeah, Skrilla, I can't. That's out of my powers. That's out of my control. People don't want to hear a cow romance. Should have fucking done. I should have put us in something better. You're the one that suggested that topic, not me, dude. You mean you requested it, Jade. You didn't vote for it. You requested it. And I haven't put it on the poll yet because he wasn't here. And I figured it would win when he wasn't here. So I was like, nah, dude, I'm not even going to do that. Oh my God, thank you for the dress. The blue. I love that. Thank you. That dress is so cute. A witch haunted cabin mystic. I have like 24 of them. All right, the winner is the Trapdoor. I'll be right back. Hi, different kind of Karen. I like your name. That's funny. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Happy Friday. And if you guys would do me a big favor, if you could hit that share arrow. In the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs and helps us grow our beautiful porch. Also, sharing to your stories helps too. And happy Friday. I'll be right back with the tale of the Trapdoor. Thank you, Rich. I think you'd like my Unexplained series. Lady Rose said insert evil laugh. What do you mean, Tao? You shouldn't make comments on stars? Did you make a comment on a star's TikTok? What did you say? Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, Goatman and Tao have beef. And how would I have scared him off? What are you talking about? He comes all the time, and he's come for months, and he comes sporadically when he feels like it. But him and Tao have beef. Tao pushed him off the porch, and then Goatman pushed Tao off the porch because it was a whole thing. Yeah, you don't ever make bad comments, Tao. You're great. I like your jokes. There's fakes that come bother you? Which ones? Which fake stars? Oh, you mean Goatman? The one I really scared is Mothman. I love Mothman. I don't love Goatman. Goatman smells. Mothman flies. We've already discussed this. The story that won is the trapdoor. Like, Mothman could literally fly me to, like, anywhere I wanted to go in the world. Like, all the archaeological sites I've dreamt of seeing, Mothman could just fucking fly me there. You know how amazing that would be? Yeah, most of the ladies love Goatman. I love Mothman. And he knows it. And then he was like, I have a girlfriend named Mothra. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the trapdoor. You want Harry Brook? Interesting. I would buy a giant mothball. A giant mothball. And beat him like a pinata. That's funny. A mothball giant. There are places that seem to resist the passage of time, where the air hangs heavy with stories too dark to tell. And Hollow Vale was one of those places. A forgotten pocket of the Appalachian Mountains where the trees pressed close, blotting out the sky. Brooke, you said I'm thinking maybe I do. You like Goatman so much because I made him hot. I made him have a body yaddy. Locals didn't speak much about the Vale. And when they did, it was in hushed tones, accompanied by uneasy glances toward the dense forest. I learned about it the hard way, on a bitter winter night, when my curiosity became a curse. I had been hired by a historical preservation group to document abandoned settlements in the Appalachian Mountains. For some reason, Hollow Vale wasn't on the official itinerary. But an old map I had dug up in my research marked it as a once thriving mining town. So I figured I'd check it out. As someone who is an intuitive and very sensitive to energy, abandoned mining towns have always freaked me out. I have been to several, and I have never been to a single one that wasn't foreboding. Okay, Jade, love ya. Mining towns were no stranger to tragedies. Between the deadly working conditions for miners and the cutthroat nature of the mining business, and the unsavory characters these towns used to attract, it's no wonder they tend to be teeming with negative energy. There was no clear trail leading to it, just the old hand-drawn map and whispers on Reddit of a place forgotten by the world. Armed with GPS, thermal gear, and a healthy dose of delusional confidence, I set out early one morning. Snow clung to the branches, muting the landscape in a blanket of white. The hike was grueling, and the air was sharp in my lungs. Skrilla, thank you for answering her question. But by late afternoon, I found it. Or what was left of it. Dilapidated cabins leaned like drunken old men, their roofs sagging under the weight of the snow. A rusting water tower leaned precariously to one side, its surface mottled with corrosion. At the center of the vale stood the remnants of a church, its steeple cracked and leaning. The bell was long gone, but its frame creaked in the wind. I set up camp in what appeared to be the largest intact cabin. They're playing my videos, Brooke? Oh my god, I love that. The door hung on rusted hinges, and the interior smelled of decay and damp wood. I brushed snow off the floor and spread out my sleeping bag near the intact stone fireplace. The wind howled through the gaps in the walls, but I told myself it was just another night in the wilderness. I got a small fire going, and I cuddled up in thermal gear and a blanket. As night fell, the forest around the hollow vale transformed. The shadows stretched. The giant trees towering over me seemed to lean in. I tried to sleep, but unease gnawed at the edges of my mind. Around midnight, I heard it, a low, rhythmic thumping. At first, I had thought it was just wind, knocking a loose shutter against a wall. But as the minutes dragged on, I realized it was too deliberate and steady. I sat up, my breath clouding in the frigid air. The thumping grew louder, reverberating through the floorboards. It seemed to be coming from beneath the cabin. Heart racing, I grabbed my flashlight and I crept toward the sound. My inadequate flashlight flickered, casting jittery beams across the cabin's warped walls, when I noticed a trap door in the corner. The ancient door groaned under the weight as I pried it open, and the thumping stopped abruptly. The darkness beneath the trapdoor was absolute, swallowing the beam of my inadequate flashlight. A foul stench wafted up, and I hesitated. Then I lowered myself into the abyss. I found a set of crude stone steps, slick with moisture. The air grew colder with each step. At the bottom, I stood at a narrow tunnel carved into the rock. The walls were damp and glistening. My inadequate flashlight flickered again, and I smacked it against my palm, and the beam stabilized. Just as I saw it, a crude door set into the rock, bound with rusted iron bands. What the hell? My fingers trembled as I reached for the latch. The door creaked open, revealing a chamber. The walls were lined with ancient wooden beams, and the floor was covered with a thick layer of dust. Rubber band man, wild as the Taliban. In the center of the room stood a stone altar, its surface slick with dark stains. And then I saw them, shadows that couldn't have been there. They danced along the walls. My breath caught in my throat. The shadows surged toward me, their forms writhing and shifting. I stumbled backward, my inadequate flashlight slipping from my grasp and falling to the floor. In the darkness, I felt cold hands brush against my skin, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Desperation clawed at my mind as I fumbled for my inadequate flashlight. My fingers closed around it, and it flickered on, the beam cutting through the darkness. The shadows recoiled, hissing like feral beasts. I didn't wait to see what they would do next. I ran, my boots pounding against the stone floor. The tunnels seemed to stretch forever, but I didn't stop until I was back in the cabin, slamming the trap door shut behind me. You like that one, mermaid? The thumping resumed almost immediately, more frenzied now, as though whatever was beneath the cabin was furious at my escape. I barricaded the trapdoor with whatever I could find, and I huddled in the opposite corner, my breath ragged. Hi, Angela. That was all I needed to see. I was packing up my stuff and I was leaving right now. I'd take my chances with the bears and the bobcats. I was hiking back to my car tonight. Forget this. But then, as I looked out the window of the cabin, I saw that it had started to snow pretty hard. Great. As scared as I was, I'm not stupid enough to get trapped in a snowbank and freeze to death in the middle of the night on top of a mountain. So, I hunkered down next to the fire and I just tried to keep warm. The night was endless, and the thumping continued until dawn, fading only as the first beams of sunlight crept through the cracks in the walls. Exhausted and terrified, I packed up my gear and I fled Hollowvale, vowing to never return. To this day, I don't know what I encountered in that cursed place, but I kept it off the official itinerary of abandoned settlements, and I took that map I found and I hid it back in the archives where I found it. Land can hold on to negative energy from the tragedies that have happened on it. And some places are just meant to be forgotten. Their secrets buried in the darkness for a reason. And that's the tale of the trapdoor. Thank you, Julie. Are they watching the Unexplained series? That's so cute. I'm glad they like those ones. I'm super proud of those. I love that teens like them. That makes me feel really cool. That makes me really happy. Because like you're like probably the sixth person who's told me that their teens like the Unexplained ones. That makes me so happy. They tell everyone about them. Oh my God. Teenage boys, I feel so cool right now. They're very hard to impress. How cute. Oh, they're 6, 7, and 9. Okay. Well, then that's still very cute, but not as impressive. I thought they were teenagers. And I was like, damn, really? 6, 7, and 9 is adorable still. I love that. And that's around the same age as my friend Amanda's sons who love to watch my channel too. Same, mermaid. I love my niece and nephew. Skrilla, believe it or not, not everyone values me for just that. You know, I kind of got a big brain too. Goatman, we've had this discussion. It's not your fault that you smell bad, but you do smell. We've talked about this. But I want to know who told you. It won't let me pin your comment. That's so funny. Goatman's here and he said, I heard you say that I stink. Who's the snitch? Who's the snitch? Snitches get stitches. Just kidding. We love TikTok shop. Hi, Toot Toot. It's way past Toot Toot's bedtime. Tell him he needs to go to bed. Goatman, we love you even though you stink. Somebody did. I know, Skrilla. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, oh so very ordinary. Hi, LK Tink. Oh, thank you, Dark Ray. Skrilla, you're like the only one that's ever even been able to fill it. Hey, Tao, I think Goatman's still in here. Goatman, are you still here? Come back. Goatman, where are you? What noise do goats make? Never mind, Devin, don't even. I'm not even going to try. No, why would there be a fight? I said, you're the only one that can fill up my brain. My sponge. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. Cannot eat, cannot sleep at night. Goatman left us. He got mad, I said he stinks. Everybody mass invite him. Let's do this. Let's. It's Goatman 2334. We're gonna get him back. Oh, Goatman versus Tao? Yeah, probably. Because Tao was like, where is he? He did. He ran away. Someone told him, I told him that I said he stinks. He came in to be like, I heard that you said I stink, and then he left. We love you, Goatman. Is it Justin? I love that one too. And my favorite one, I can't even listen to anymore. But I used to love it. Hi, Tara. Hi, Tara Fizzy Bunny. My favorite one is Adam's song. And that one I don't listen to anymore. Yeah, that's a good one too, Justin. Yeah, Scarlett. Yeah, that exactly. That song gets to me, even like talking about it. That was a really hard time in my life when that song came out, and it was just like that song came out when I was like sleeping in my car. And it was just a low time, you know? It was just not my happiest memories, but the song was really good. Yours is Damn It, that's a good one too. You pass on that one, yeah. It's just too much. It's just too much. But I'm going to set up the poll, and I will be right back with the next poll for us to vote for the next story. Happy Friday. It's called Adam's Song by Blink-182, Tara. They do. And I also loved Angels and Airwaves, but that's also, I haven't listened to that in a long time either. I feel like music brings back emotions for me, since I am like a vibration person and empath. And so, like listening to the music brings back those emotions for me. So I tend to avoid certain music or songs or bands when I want to not have to bring back that shit. You know what I mean? And I hate that it does that for me, but I have just learned that I can't. I get way too, I can feel the memories with the songs, and it sucks ass. So some songs I just can't anymore. But some songs, if I give it time and then I listen again, it's like, yeah, smells are the same way. Exactly. Smells and music are two of the memory triggers. So it also sucks when you have to stop wearing a perfume, you know? And there could be a million different reasons. Like I had a really rough year when I lived in Denver, and like the perfume I wore then, I can't even smell it without being reminded of like my cat dying. Like it's not always like heart, like someone breaking your heart. It's like there are just periods of time where like music is something that, you know what I mean? Like, and smells, he's right. And so unfortunately Blink-182 was a very hard chapter in my very young life at the time. So I loved their music so much, but I don't really listen to it anymore. Yeah. Chanel Chance was ruined for me, and it's my favorite perfume of all time. Yep. Victim of circumstances. That's exactly correct. But yeah, Chanel Chance was my favorite perfume of all time. The floral one, the green one. And I haven't smelled it in probably 15 years. Anyway, I'll be right back with the next poll, guys. Yeah, Ellie, me too. Trauma sucks. But you know what? It also makes us the people we are. And I'll tell you right now, I had the makings to be a real cunt. And I think the trauma humbled me quite a bit. I think it made me the person I am. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of girls similar to me that didn't go through it, and they aren't as nice, you know what I mean? So I think it stopped me from being a raging fucking bitch, if I'm being honest. You know, I think it humbled me. Ego death. Sometimes you need it for enlightenment. Yep, it sucks, but sometimes you have to fall from your cloud. Anybody know the reference? What song am I referencing? What song am I referencing? I used to live in Denver. I don't anymore. I worked for a talk show, a national talk show there. I was on contract for a year, and it was like the worst year of my life. But Colorado was beautiful. Oh, really, Ellie? Yeah. I wish I would have met anybody when I lived out there. I was so lonely and miserable. Roses really smell like poo-poo. Is that your guess? Because that is not the song I was referencing. I was referencing a Bush song. I don't want to come back down from this cloud. It's taken me all this time to find out what I need. Me too, Scarlett. I love Bush. Love, love, love Gavin. Like, and that's the difference. That music, for some reason, I can't listen to the really emotional music, but like the ragey music, I don't have the same imprint. Because like Bush, like that came out when probably around the time my parents were separated, and I don't associate it with that at all. I associate it with just like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, and so I feel like I don't really have that attachment to like Bush, Korn, Marilyn Manson, any of the, like I don't attach those because I feel like it was like release music. Does that make sense? Yeah, the Come Down, 1994. I feel like it was the release music for the trauma or something, and I feel like, but like Coldplay wrecks me. Coldplay fucking wrecks me, and so does Keane. I can't even listen to Keane. I've tried to listen to Coldplay again, but like I don't think I could do The Scientist anytime. So, like The Scientist wrecks me, and you did what, Nami? Nirvana, I like Nirvana too, but like there are certain ones that are like just hard for me to listen to. Thank you, Diane. Goatman, you're back. What are you saying yes to? Brooke, Green Eyes with Coldplay is one of the only ones that doesn't mess with me because I have green eyes. And there's no songs about us, so I feel really special when I listen to it because I'm like, yeah, ew, I have green eyes, you know? Because you know that there's only 2% of population in the world that have green eyes? Yeah, Brooke. I think we talked about that. You tricked him? Tao said I tricked him. Goatman's back. Yours is Def Leppard. I actually, I really like Led Zeppelin too. Matt, really? Yours look blue in your pictures. Goat Man, you couldn't trick anybody. No, Tao said he tricked you, Goat Man. What are you going to say to that? Tao and Goat Man in the live at last. It's happening. No, never mind. That's not funny, Devin. Never mind. I'll be right back with the poll. Yeah, I am, Skrilla. I am. I was going to try to come up with something funny, and I was like, that's not funny, Devin. Never mind. Never mind. No, I wasn't. Archangela, thank you for this one. Thank you for helping me with my gift gallery. All right, you guys, the poll is ready. We have the Snallygaster, Highway 666, the Lubbock Lights, the Last American Vampire, and the Midnight Movie. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box, and you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Good one, Skrilla. Hi, Mary. Oh, Priscilla, awesome. There's a lot of us in here. It's almost as if there's a lot of witches in here, and witches all have green eyes. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? Well, we don't all have green eyes, but it is a very witchy. It was in the Hammer of the Witch. In the guide for witch hunters, they said that if she had green eyes and hair the color of fire, she was a witch. I don't know anybody that fits that description. Definitely not me. Yes, and if you read and talk to animals, so none of those sound like me at all. I do not read stories and talk to animals every day and have green eyes and auburn hair. Nope. Never. And they said that we would have crows do our bidding. I don't even know what you're talking about. A murder of crows didn't save Merlin's life or anything. Please. Yes, I do. I have blue jays and chipmunks and 5 million other animals that come in. I had a baby raccoon scale the screen of my bedroom window. They know me. They love me. They say what's up. I have deer in my yard every single night. And sometimes I look and their eyeballs are staring in my window. And it's just a deer face. I'm like, what the fuck? And it scares me. I don't have a beaver. I didn't say beaver. I didn't say beaver. 2 people thought I said beaver. No. I didn't have a beaver. I have blue jays, chipmunks, squirrels, deer, raccoons, possums. Yeah, there's a fine line. You're exactly right, Rich. There's a fine line between Disney princess and a witch. There is no line. They're the same thing. Hi, Goat Man. It is working. What's up? Oh my God, you guys. Guess which story won? Guess which story won? Sometimes TikTok does that, Goat Man. It's really annoying. I don't have any words filtered, so it's like does it on its own. Good night, Mackenzie. Sweet dreams. We love you. And the winner of the poll is, does anybody know? Highway 666. I'll be right back. Skrilla story won. Finally. Oh yeah, Goat Man. That doesn't surprise me. Hi, Isabel. Funny, Skrilla. Funny. Hi, sweet lady. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I do write and record all these stories myself, and you can listen to them on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also have all the links in my bio. Hi, Maria. Happy Friday. Thank you for the cute gifts. That doesn't surprise me, Mermaid. If you knew the horrifying things that the animal kingdom, same situation. I could name like 5 other animals that's like horrifying stuff like that. Anyway, the winner is the Devil's Highway. I'll be right back. Thank you for tapping. And if you guys could do me a big favor while I pull up this story, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner? There is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch. Speaking of, Mermaid, why would you bring that up? Why would you bring that up? Oh, someone said that they were seeing otters. Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait, that's so fucking random and sad. Why would you drop that sadness in my brain? The fuck? But somebody brought it up. Okay. Because I was like, that's so random. You're trying to punish me? You might recall what, Phyllis? Hi, Vampire Helly. Welcome in. Yeah, sad lore. Exactly. All right, guys, give me 1 second. What, Phyllis? What are you talking about? Thank you for the follow, Cherry Red. Welcome to the porch. What happened, Isabel? It's sticky? Oh, the work I did in Denver. Oh, yeah. Okay, now I get it. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you remember me being on air in Denver? Yeah. I was on, I was one of the hosts, Daily Blast Live. Do you remember Daily Blast Live, DBL? Yeah, that's so funny. I love that, Phyllis. I love that. That makes me happy. Thank you to everybody sharing it out and tapping the screen, and thank you for the beautiful gifts. Sit back and relax. Happy Friday. Oh, look at Skrilla. What a snack. Skrilla. Oh, Isabel, it is under construction. I love that you were making that up. It's totally under construction regularly. Yay, Vampire Helly. I'm so glad. Mackenzie came in and told me that you said hi. You're so sweet. Submitted for the approval of, oh wait, we have to restart the song. Just kidding. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Devil's Highway. Brooke. Of course, Vampire Helly, I love you. Everybody go support Vampire Helly. Cutest. Yes, we spooky creatures. Oh, you said creators. I thought you said creatures. I'm like, yeah, I'm a creature too. Yes, us spooky creators definitely have to stick together. And I just think you're the cutest. I'm also a creature. I'm a siren though. I'm not a vampire. Creatures, creators, same thing. Same thing, honestly. Most people know it as Route 666, the Devil's Highway. Technically, it no longer exists. Yes, you are a teen witch. In 2003, the stretch of highway running through parts of New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah was officially renumbered to US 491. The official explanation was safety improvements and route restructuring. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Miss Behaven. But nobody who grew up around the highway believed that story. The old highway had earned a reputation long before the number changed. Okay, Matt, we love you. Truckers claimed they encountered a massive black sedan that appeared out of nowhere, driving impossibly fast before simply disappearing. You reacted to the gift again. Others reported being chased by a pitch-black vehicle with no license plate and no visible driver. There were stories of phantom semi-trucks that barreled directly toward oncoming traffic before vanishing inches before impact. Thank you, Robin. I love that dress. Oh my God. Guys, look how pretty it is. Let's just take a minute to appreciate this dress. You guys hate this story anyway. Oh my God, look how pretty and cute it is. It comes out of that box too, my God. I would love that dress. I would wear it just around the house for no reason. It's so pretty. Skrilla. I know, I'm just teasing you guys. The older stories came from people who lived near the highway. Thank you so much, Robin. You're so sweet. So generous. Oh, you'll buy me one, huh? Little frolic around the house dress. They described seeing cattle gathered silently along the roadside. Not grazing, just staring. Oh yeah, it is blue. I ain't blue. Entire herds standing perfectly still for miles. Others claim to encounter unnaturally aggressive animals that refuse to move out of the road. Thank you, Christy. Ranchers occasionally spoke about livestock found mutilated under strange circumstances. Goatman, I don't think so. I see this one, but I don't see your last one. I think it got filtered. Feeding rumors that something darker wandered the desert after sunset. And then there were the stories that never made the newspapers. People disappearing after pulling over. Abandoned vehicles with the doors hanging open. Drivers who insisted that they had mysteriously lost hours of time on that road. Now, whether those accounts were true or not didn't really matter. Goatman says he was trying to tell Chud that he would gladly move to the other side of the porch. You guys are totally agreeing to coexist. I love that. Now, whether those accounts were true or not didn't really matter. Thank you, Justin. Because Route 666 had become one of those places where every strange thing that happened was absorbed into its mythology until the road became an entity itself. Now, I had never even heard of the road until Ben, also known as Skrilla. He casually mentioned it to me because he knows I love the spooky and unexplained. And as someone whose love for the open road runs deep, I knew I had to cruise that stretch of asphalt for myself. And I was hoping to drag Ben along with me. Justin. Neither of us really believed in cursed highways, but we thought it would make for a fun weekend. We crossed into northwestern New Mexico just after lunch. The landscape slowly emptied until there was nothing left except tan mesas, dry washes, weathered fences, and endless sky. It was beautiful. It always seemed like horror movies exaggerated how isolated places like this felt, but they didn't. You could drive an hour without seeing another vehicle, sometimes longer. Every now and then we'd pass faded memorial crosses slanted along the side of the road. Isabel. Isabel, that's so you. Memorial crosses planted along the side of the road. 1 became 5. 5 became 20. By late afternoon, I'd stopped counting. Ben finally pointed out what I had been thinking. There were an alarming number of memorials on this road. And the road itself wasn't difficult to drive. Long, straight stretches, gentle hills, good visibility. Nothing about it explained why there had been so many tragedies on this lone stretch of road. Near sunset, we spotted what looked like a scenic turnout overlooking a shallow canyon. We pulled in to get out and stretch our legs. I immediately noticed the silence. No insects, no birds, even the breeze seemed absent. Ben looked over the edge of the overlook while I wandered toward a weathered wire fence running along the edge. And that's when I noticed the cattle. Maybe 30 of them spread across the desert below. None of them were eating. And none of them were lying down. Every single one of them was facing us. I pointed them out to Ben, but he laughed at first. Then his smile disappeared. They weren't moving. Not one flicking an ear, not one swishing its tail. It looked like someone had paused reality. We stood there for nearly a minute, and then Ben finally shrugged and headed back toward the truck. But the moment his hand touched the driver's side door, every cow turned at exactly the same time. All at once, like dozens of mannequins rotating together. And instead of looking at us, they were now looking behind us. Ben slowly lowered his hand from the door handle, and I turned around, and there was nothing there. So I ran back over to the overlook, and I looked down to see that all of the cattle were gone. The entire field was empty. What the actual? Ben came running back over to me, firmly grabbed my hand, and very sternly said, "Devin, respectfully, get your ass back in the truck now." Oh yeah, I need to make my gift goal the alien cow. It's perfect for the story. Fair enough. I listened. He was right. My self-preservation instincts are not the best. Neither of us said another word until we were back on a paved highway. No more scenic overlooks for us. Darkness settled fast, and the GPS estimated another hour before we'd reach our motel. Hi, Blake. Hi, Lane. About 20 minutes later, we rounded a bend and saw something standing in the middle of the road. At first, I thought it was an elk or maybe a horse. But as we got closer, I realized it was far too broad to be either. Ben slowed down to almost a crawl as we got closer. It's been really hot this summer, Vampire. Then we could see clearly that it was a bull, an enormous black bull. Its horns stretched so wide they nearly reached both lane markings. It wasn't wandering, it was just standing perfectly still, squared in the center of our lane. Ben gently honked the horn. Nothing. Another honk. Still nothing. It simply stared at us directly through the windshield. Ben muttered that we needed to go around, but there wasn't much shoulder, but there seemed to be enough room to squeeze by, so he slowly steered to the left. I love you, Isabel. And the bull turns its head. Not its body, just its head. Like it was tracking us. We edged further around it, and when my window came alongside its shoulder, I could finally grasp how massive it really was. Yes, she's my weird Swedish cousin, by the way, guys. Follow her. We edged further around it, and when my window came alongside its shoulder, I could finally grasp how massive it was. Its back was almost level with the hood of the truck. Ben accelerated and we cleared it. Both of us instinctively looked in the side mirrors. And there was no bull anywhere in sight. We both just looked at each other and laughed. Like, are we tripping right now? And if we are, at least we're going through this together. Neither of us spoke for a while after that, our heads spinning with the surreal experience we had just gone through. And then Ben finally broke the silence several miles later, and he just said, "We actually saw that, right?" I nodded in disbelief, and then I scooted over to lean my head on his shoulder. And we just rode for a while in silence. When you go through something unexplainable with someone, you turn to each other for comfort to help each other not feel so insane. About 30 minutes later, the truck lurched and the steering wheel jerked violently. A flat tire, great. Ben managed to pull onto the shoulder without rolling the rim. Skillfully, I might add. Neither of us were thrilled about changing a tire in complete darkness, but we didn't really have a choice. Ben grabbed the jack and I held the inadequate flashlight. Thank goodness he knows how to change a tire because I do not. Then we realized the tire wasn't punctured. It had been shredded. Long parallel cuts. Oh my God, Lily. Meow. Oh my God, I'm holding paws with her in the bubbles. Oh my God. Brooke, if you only knew. I know, it's my favorite gift. Vampire, she's so cute. She holds paws. Ben crouched lower and suddenly froze. He pointed under the truck. Yeah, we were holding paws. It's the only chance I'm ever going to get to hold paws with a baby snow leopard in a field of flowers and bubbles. It's my favorite. I just pretend I'm there every time. Yep, holding paws. So cute. Skrilla. There were fresh footprints, 4 toes with long claws. I love her so much. each print nearly twice the size of my hand. They didn't approach the truck, they came out from beneath it, which made absolutely no sense. The prints began directly under the rear axle, and they continued away into the desert. How? Thank you, James. Thank you, Shannon. Ben quickly got the spare tire put on, and we both climbed back inside. Maybe I am very whimsical. Then he tried starting the engine and nothing. Again, nothing. The truck was dead, but the dashboard lights remained on, so the battery had to be fine, right? It simply refused to crank. And then something bumped the underside of the truck. Not hard enough to make the floor vibrate. Another bump, closer this time. And then another. It was moving around us. Whatever it was stayed below the window, so we couldn't see it. We could only hear it scraping against the frame. Ben leaned over and made sure my door was locked, and we both huddled together in the middle of the truck seat, as far from the windows as possible. Sorry, Goat Man. Neither of us took our eyes off the window. Minutes passed, but it felt like hours. And then I noticed movement in the passenger mirror. Something low and black running alongside the truck. It disappeared before I could focus on it. A second later, it flashed past Ben's mirror, and then mine again, circling fast. It kept staying below window level, almost deliberately, like it knew exactly where we couldn't see it. The truck rocked once, twice, hard enough to make the suspension creak. Ben whispered that whatever was outside was trying to tip us. The third shove lifted my side several inches, and I heard gravel sliding underneath. Another hit, stronger. This time the truck actually shifted. Then the jack, which Ben had accidentally left beside the truck, suddenly flew out from underneath us and disappeared into the darkness. Not rolled, it was thrown. We both saw it. And then, as suddenly as it began, everything stopped. Wood grain, I'm gripping. Got the candy pane and I'm dripping. Then suddenly as it began, everything stopped. Nothing, just absolute silence. Ben turned the key in the ignition one more time, and the engine started, as though nothing had ever been wrong. We both smiled at each other and chuckled as he pressed the gas and we hauled ass out of there. Turn your head. We didn't stop again until we reached civilization. I have no idea what we experienced out there in the desert. But I can't help but wonder if somewhere out there, on the lonely stretches of the highway once known as Route 666, another traveler is slowing down tonight after spotting something standing silently in the road. Good night, Hallie, love you, sweet dreams. Trying to decide if what they're seeing is perfectly ordinary or the beginning of the next story someone will tell about Route 666, the Devil's Highway. And that's the tale of the Devil's Highway, featuring Skrilla. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I'm here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as on all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. I also have all of the links in my bio, so you can find me there too. I also premiere a new one of these stories live on my YT channel every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a live premiere and a live chat. It's a lot of fun. Isabel, you're so cute. They get used to the stories. That's the thing, is when you listen to them enough, you get used to them and then you can fall asleep. I love you, Isabel. So Monday, feel free to join us on my YT channel. We do a live premiere at 7 p.m. And this week's topic is very cool and near to my heart. It is a topic that I chose. It wasn't suggested or a request or recommendation. I chose this topic. And it's one that I am very passionate about. No, Justin. Awesome, Peter. Way to go. Do you guys remember the song that was like Gucci, Gucci, Fendi, 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 Prada? The basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Do you guys remember her? Do you guys remember her? That was just very niche California rap, I feel like. Or was that like everywhere? Yes, Krayshawn. Krayshawn. The bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Fucking loved her. Anyway, she just performed at Silver Lake last weekend, and one of my best friends went and saw her, and I was like, no fucking way. She texted me, she's like, holy shit. I was like, oh my god, because she like was a one-hit wonder from NorCal, but I fucking loved her because I just liked that she was just very authentic. She didn't give a shit. Isabel, you're so funny. Oh, hi, What Will Be. How you doing? Yeah, Skrilla. I was actually never a huge Kesha fan. I know that's controversial. Everybody likes her, but... Hi, Bree. All right, you guys, it's time for grilled cheese. No, Justin, Kesha wasn't a one-hit wonder, but Krayshawn was. Hi, Alyssa, cutie. Oh my god, they bleep that out on the radio now. That's so funny. Like it's literally become a bad word. That's so crazy. That's wild. Yeah, Sammed Winches. Good one, Fairy Witch. Yeah, Bree, you need to get the grilled cheese fixins for sure. Girl, get them fixins. Oh my God, Peter, I would love to check that out. Is that on your YT or your TT? Or your YMCMB? Nobody got my YMCMB joke? Come on. Y'all, come on. TT boy? I don't know what that means. I have no idea. No, Justin, I don't think so. Because I think they'd be in here. YMCMB stands for Young Money, Cash Money Billionaires. It's Lil Wayne's record label. And nobody got my joke. I'm really disappointed and sad. I said, is it on YT or TT or YMCMB? I thought it was good, dude. No one caught it. Damn. Wasted joke. Damn. Womp womp. Exactly, damn. Yeah, but you said TT boy, not titty boy. You said TT boy. That's different. I know who titty boy is. Titty toe. Hi, Kyle. Yes, Peter, thank you. On TikTok. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Justin, you just don't know any rap. You've confirmed that already. Justin, you've never listened to a rap song in your life. But that's okay. That's okay. Tao. Now that is a grade A joke. That is a grade A joke, Tao. That's okay, Madam Purple. You don't have to get them. That's okay. We have all different age groups in here. We had someone who was just too young to get that joke, and then you said you're too old. So we just have a mix. I just throw them out there. I fire them out and hope they get caught. No one caught that one, so I won't do that one again. That is a failed joke. Write it down. Failure of a joke. Don't do it again. Kind of like when you guys humored me and laughed about seeing out of cups for fucking 2 months until you let me know that none of you guys knew what the fuck I was talking about. That was fun. I was like, wait, what do you guys mean? What did you think I was doing? And they were like, we just thought you were being funny. I'm never going to get over it. You guys just thought I was that weird. And you still love me. And that's just, as the weird girl in the popular group my whole life, you guys have no idea how much that means. That you guys just were like, yep, she's just that fucking weird. You guys just accepted it. You were like, oh, we have no clue what she's talking about, but she's giggling and we like it, so we'll pretend it's funny. And that is the sweetest. I'm like, you guys, you're so sweet. Did they get rid of the seahorse gift so that you guys don't have to listen to me do that anymore? I feel like it's been around for a while now. Oh, so let me guess. They got rid of the 99 coin one and they kept the like super lot of coin one, didn't they? They kept the blue one in the conductor's hat. Of course they did. Duh. We never get the cute 99 coin ones for very long. Seahorses, I love them. Seahorse, see how? We got a seahorse party. Who didn't invite me? I didn't see the peaches joke, Chad. That's okay, Kyle. I had a pizza joke, but it was too cheesy. That's a good one, too. Okay, I'm not reading any more jokes. I can't keep up with the chat. I'm going to do the diner story now. Yeah, right, Brie. My real voice. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was my real voice? That would be crazy. Now, you can still do them, Tao. I just might not catch them. You can still tell jokes. I'm just going to be reading the story, so I might not catch them. El Guapo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. What about the Village People YMCA, Robin? Spaceballs 2, what, like 40 years later? Oh my god, they're just reusing all the IP. We're never going to get new anything ever again, are we? Never. We're never going to get anything new. We're at late stage capitalism. They're just going to use all of the fucking intellectual property they've already owned, and they're just going to remake everything. God. Anyway, yeah, Brie, I hope you have a great weekend, cutie pie. Kelly, it's with an A. Devan. Yeah, Justin, do you want to know what the budget for that was? It's like a fucking indie film, dude. And I'm more of a TV show person than a movie person. Like, yeah, there's all kinds of low budget indies that come out, but good one, Fairy Witch. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. What joke, Goat Man? Why does Dracula not have any friends? Because he's a pain in the neck. I like that. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. Thank you, Taryn. was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through. 5 hours, no stops. Good night, goat man, sweet dreams. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. Hi, Sherry. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering, like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. Thank you, Miss Mystic. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people, they all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet, like they weren't expecting me. Aw, Sherry, I love you. Like I'd walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. You get caught in the rain, sweetheart, she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. Yeah, Merlin's definitely throwing things at me. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers. I sat down at a corner booth. The vinyl creaked. And I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal. Sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there, but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes, even when they were looking down. Love you, misbehaving. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal. And I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with spinning wheels. I glanced out the foggy window and the storm was still going. But now, the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit, not even a flicker. The food came fast, too fast, like under 5 minutes, but it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said, just that. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. "Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him." But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered, just once and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped, like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm, a voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest. I turned the knob. Locked, of course. It was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just wind and rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm and still half eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless, like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. "The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in." She raised a hand, and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled, and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines, and then shadows, and then nothing. And then I saw it, underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot, like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. One second I was inside, and the next I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, pulled up with the ceiling missing, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No 2 Chainz, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone, not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site, and I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight, and everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article? The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little, because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with me, Porch Bells. I love you guys so much. I will be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. And you should join us on Kim's live tomorrow. We hang out on Saturdays during the day. It's very fun. We do marathons. Thanks, Scarlett. Good night, everybody. I hope you have some good dreams. If you are not able to fall asleep to the live, I highly suggest going to my YT channel, where there is a bedtime stories playlist where all of these stories are recorded by me, and you can hit shuffle or play all and fall asleep to them, usually by like the second story. Also, also all the recordings of my lives go straight to YT once I'm done here. So you can also watch them or catch up or see what you missed if you would like. Tomorrow, Tashania, she goes live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So lunchtime, noon. I have lunch with my mom tomorrow, actually, so I'm just going to be a little later than I usually am, but I'll still pop in and repost it. I'll be listening probably. I won't be watching the chat right away. But yeah, we have a lot of fun over there. And I love you guys. I hope you get some wonderful sleep and some good dreams. And don't forget, stay spooky.